Tomorrow, you hear Stoneboy, Shatawale fighting.
Yes.
Shatawale talk about Sarkodie fighting. Sarkodie replies Shatawale with an advice.
Yes.
Battle.
Yeah.
Kwaokesi jumps in.
Fighting.
Shatawale
Still
says, "Oh,
fighting.
my career."
Still
your
negativity.
Total negativity. When all these talented individuals could just sit down at a round table and say, you know what, you've got SM for life. You have 10,000 followers.
Yes.
You've got Beam Nation.
Yes.
You have 15,000 followers.
Yes.
Your SAP or your Baby Success
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah.
You can get 10,000 or 15,
Yes.
20,000.
Yes.
Why don't we put a show together and spend 1 hour each on stage and pull together R2Bs, Ruff Money Records, pull everybody and create a show called the Emancipation Tour and go across Africa and fill 60,000 stadiums where we perform for everybody to come and watch us and enjoy our music.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do we do?
What do
Sell.
we do?
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. But the perception of the artist, the entertainment managers, and everybody is, oh, so if you concert near Tonwan, or if we do this event and we sell, you need the majority because you have a bigger brand than him.
Yeah. No, the rest.
You don't see these other people do that in the States. You look at the Up in Smoke tour, you remember? Back in the day.
Yes.
You had Dr. Dre, Exhibit,
Yes.
Eminem,
It was huge.
Okay. Warren G, Nate Dogg, all of them came together. Who had a problem? Nobody had a problem.
Everybody won.
Everybody won. They toured across the United States.
No, and it was big, so big I know about it.
Absolutely. And we were there.
And I haven't been there.
Okay? We were there and you see it. Back in the day, Blackstreet, Boys to Men, they do a tour together.
Wow.
Everybody, New Edition, everybody works together. Casey and Jojo could have basically said, we're doing it on our own. But no, they bring the whole crew together.
But they still do it. I mean, you hear this person is going on tour with this person, that person, that person. There's a whole list of them.
Absolutely.
I used to do that back in the day, do tours.
Okay.
I used to do the rap tours,
Okay.
but the most money I ever made was with the comedian tours. All you need
Wow.
is a mic.
And one man on the stage.
And that's it. The rest of the stuff with all these different, because I took, back in 1997, I took Michael Jackson
Okay.
to South Africa. I took Janet to South Africa. I took Luther, Boys and Men, with Saul Kirshner. He was trying to get him at a high price, but since I know him, I got him at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
And we done pretty good. That's when I first got to South Africa in 1997. And we done Michael, Janet, Luther, Boys and Men's, because I hit the largest clubs in South Africa, so I wanted the after party. And on another note, this guy right here, he reminded me of Teddy Riley.
Yes.
With he gonna be the Teddy Riley of Ghana. And that's how Teddy. I know Teddy. That's how Teddy. If you're familiar with Teddy Riley's music, he take music from everybody, produce everybody. That's all in one family. I mean, he came out with 3 groups.
Yes.
In one year,
Jodeci, yep.
he came out with 3 groups in one
Naughty
year.
by Nature, Shrek.
And he just they had a special with him on BET and gave him the music icon of him. And I didn't even know that he produced all these people. It was about 13, 14 artists. And I heard the music, but I didn't know that it was all done by Teddy Riley. So the things that this young man is doing right here with Ruff Money Records, that's behind a lot of these songs, a lot of these artists, he can grow.
You can
Major.
grow. Yeah, the
Major.
dream will become a reality. And then the little birdie mentioned the Emancipation Tour. You just mentioned it.
Yes.
And can you give us a little brief about that? That is next year.
Yeah, well, what we plan on doing is in 2019, we plan on putting together a tour with the Rough Mob and also bring in some of the biggest names in the industry, not only just in Ghana, but in 15 African countries. The
Nice.
vision is to basically revive the dreams of Bob Marley. Bob Marley talked about emancipate your mind from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. And so to free the African mind, we believe that we need to get all the musical voices and the entertainment and media voices to start speaking about freeing our minds.
Yes.
And the only way I believe that can become a reality is if producers like J-Rex, media personality, and media personality leaders like yourself, Ramberry, you host, a show on FM, YFM, that reaches out to millions of ears every day. Be able to project the message of how important it is for us to come together as a people, united for a common goal. And that common goal will be to develop our countries and develop our continent. And that is what the Emancipation Tour is about. We want to teach Africa that all the big artists in Ghana can work together, get to Nigeria, bring all the big artists in Nigeria, work together, go to Kenya, bring artists in Kenya, work with them, Tanzania, South Africa, Namibia.
Africa has never seen anything like that before.
Never.
Never.
And we are determined to do that in 2019.
That's
We're determined to do it in August 2019 and do a 3-month tour to emancipate the minds, to teach Africans that a continent filled with 1.8 billion people can be self-sufficient by depending on the people within the continent.
Absolutely.
And when we succeed in doing that, then we fulfill Bob Marley's dream of war. He said that, until the philosophy of he who reigns superior and another inferior, until the color of our skin doesn't determine who you are, but except the color of our eyes, there's always going to be war. And until you fight that war to teach the people that you're not a poor people on the African continent, but an emancipated people who are determined to build the present and the future of a great continent with nations that love and respect the freedom of rights of its people. So that at the end of the day, the mentality of the slavery and nationalism perspective that people keep on projecting in the world can be pushed away and allow music, sports, and politics to flourish to help feed the poor people and help bring the true value of Africa to the world. That is what we're about. And our mission is strong.
You look at the facts of this year alone, how much money Beyonce and Jay-Z done just this year alone in about 10 shows.
Yes.
They've done over $500 million
Yes.
already. Just with them two and one
Two
over
people.
there.
Yeah.
And with the situation around here in Africa, it could be $1 billion or more if you can put them all together and travel, because it's larger. Crowds are larger than in
Yes.
Africa. But this is just in the United States.
Different fan bases.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And everybody has a strength they bring to the table.
Absolutely.
The earlier we understand that, the better. I think what kills us is this, this little rat race that somebody thinks that, okay, if, J-Rex is eating, I'm not going to eat just because he's eating, that type of thing. We have to quickly understand that there's a lot of people, there's enough for everybody to consume. Don't you think there's a bigger issue of venue? Because we haven't really thought of doing shows on very, very large scales. We do not have event centers that are large enough to host a lot of people. Because if we're going to put 4 or 5 superstars together, and 2 superstars can fill a stadium, and we're going to put 4 or 5 of them together, we should have something much bigger. Is that one of the issues that we should be looking forward to solve in the future? Much bigger event auditoriums?
Well, we looked at that and we did a lot of research into it. And what we found out is that even within the continent of Africa, every single country that we've looked into has at least 4 football stadiums that are well equipped and built right.
Yes.
And so you look at the United States, you do things in the Madison Square Gardens, which is small, you do the Barclays Center.
Yeah.
These places are small compared to the stadiums we have here.
Nice.
And all we talk about is the acoustic problem. We
Okay.
don't have sound. How
Okay.
much do speakers cost?
No.
They don't cost that much. How much do stages cost? All of these things, we invest billions that we burn away with no return.
Okay.
Yet we complain about fixing the entertainment and the sports that can project the right image of our country into the world and fight over how to save money rather than expend money to make more money. So all the locations that we checked for the Emancipation Tour, we realized that they can take a lot of people. They're bigger than the Madison Square Garden.
They're bigger than Barclays Center. They're
bigger than the O2 Arena.
Yes.
See, that's why with Beyonce, they were doing stadiums, soccer stadiums. They built a new soccer stadium in LA. They sold that out. They built the road, where the road go. That's 80,000. They sold that out. So most of their concerts was outdoors.
Yeah.
And if they done something indoors, it's going to be for 2-3 days in a row. So that's why with the stadium, like the ones I done in South Africa, we done it in Johannesburg Soccer Stadium. We done one in Durban Soccer Stadium, and we done one in Cape Town Soccer Stadium. All of them were sold out on that sort of thing. But you know, doing these indoor concerts with those type of artists, you don't want to overkill it. You only need a couple of them that can bring it, and then the rest you surround it with the locals in Africa and stuff like that. So it all depends on how you package the package together.
You know what you just taught me? You just taught me the fact that we have enough resources here to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have all the resources. There's a lot of stadia in Ghana. You know, there's Kumasi, there's Accra, there's Tamale, there's Cape Coast, there's Volta Ridge. Everywhere has a state. So we might as well just do it.
Yes.
So 2019.
It's on.
It's the year of the return as well.
It's the year of the return. And we're going to teach the world how Africa truly is. I call it the modern day Africa emancipation.
Okay.
Beautiful thing about Ghana and Africa today is that most of us are well traveled. We've seen the world.
Yes.
If you look at the internet, the beauty about the internet is that it's exposed people who haven't even stepped their foot out of their country to the world.
We know a lot.
Everybody knows what is going on in the world.
Yes, we do.
And so somebody can tell you everything about New York City without stepping their foot in New York.
No, I know a lot. I've never been there.
Yeah. And so this is an opportunity for us to basically bring the rest of the world into Africa. Because at the end of the day, we are going to push that message and the vision that we have to change the perception that people have about Ghana and our continent.
Mr. Kenny, I want to say this dream is a big one. And we're very glad only a few people have the courage to be able to dream this big. And there are people we can name, we can give you names. There's Kwame Nkrumah, there's Bob Marley, there's you. And I'm excited that we have, you know, the likes of Mr. Keith. Jerez is doing what he's doing right here, and we're also here to support all day. And so this is what the regular person who's watching this wants to know, right? There's always that support system. What would you have to say to everybody that's watching this right now? How can they help? How can their thoughts process? What can they do to make sure that when it's time for this tour to start, they can also play a little role? What do you have to say to them?
Well, from my perspective, as Ghanaians, as Africans, as black people, we need to realize that projecting negativity brings back negativity towards us.
Yeah.
So as we project a positive posture and a perspective of how we want to promote our country and our continent into the world, more people will be attracted to come and support us. The first support has to start from internalizing what we believe in. And as I said with Ruff Money Records, rise up for freedom, rise up for fame, rise up for fortune. That freedom is your freedom. That fame is your fame. That fortune will help you feed your family. So when you support this movement, you're not only supporting the group that is in-house, but you're also supporting future generations and current generations within your communities that are looking for an opportunity of not just hope, but the ability to execute that hope into reality. So when you hear about the Emancipation Tour 2019, it's the year of the return, it's the rise of the black man and the black woman, it's the emancipation of all of us to teach the world that we're not the poor people in the world. Because the last time I checked, you come to Ghana, you come to Africa, every vehicle you see on the road is owned and paid for. Every house you see in our countries and on the continent is paid for with physical cash. The rest of the world are mortgaged by the banks. We're not. So we're not the poor people. We're actually wealthy, beyond rich. And with that, fortune is everything we're fighting for. We're going to take over, and the world is going to love us. That's all I got to say.
I love that. That is
Well, I'm just sitting back here just learning a lot of things. I'm really, really amazed at what's going on here in Ghana, especially through my friend, with my son.
Your son grew up. Finally, I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember those days when they used to tell me, like, hey, man, he's so young. Today when I sit with everybody, they're like, oh, pops. Sometimes when they say, I'm like, where did time go? I'm now the old man.
Wow.
J-Rex is like, Pop, J-Rex, back in the day, I was a young cat.
Wow.
So gray hair came but Barbara, we really appreciate of all that you're doing. We thank YFM for the support and for the effort that you put in seeing us achieve the goals and dreams that we have for these young men. The talented artists, producer, executive director, engineer, J-Rex, supporting the team with Anwar, who's also a very talented artist. Special Page, he's got his own style. I call him, the sexy young man in the group. He's actually the ladies' man in the group. We talk about Ken Buckfeld. Ken Buckfeld's he's a triple threat. He's an actor, he's a singer, he's a writer, and he has all the capabilities to become one of the greatest in his field. You talk about AE Rap. AE started out strong, very strong with the lyrical material. She can write, she can rap, she can sing, and very versatile young lady who has a very projected future that I love, and want to see her rise to optimum capability. You talk about Zena, young, vibrant, still rising. I look at her and she reminds me of Nivea. She reminds me of when Rihanna started with Pon de Replay. She has that potential to rise to that level. Young lady Wajo from Nigeria has got brilliant, vocal capability and capacity. Could rise up to have the level of vocal power that the likes of Whitney Houston used to represent. And I believe in that because I see that in her.
Yes.
You talk about Obritite. I call him the roots of the foundation of RMR because Obri is deep.
The foundation. The roots of the, you know how deep that is? The roots of the foundation.
Obri sometimes talks and writes. He does spoken word. And some of the words that come out of his mouth makes me turn around and go, what did you just say?
How old are you?
How old are you? So Obri comes up with something that is very different. Then you look at Alvin Morris, Alvin from Nigeria. He also comes up with something that's not being done in Africa yet. The electronic dance music genre. EDM, driving a totally different perspective to make people realize that we're not just a single unit Afro music type of group. We've got the capacity to deliver an all-round entertainment event for everybody that comes.
Diversity.
It's diversity in
We'll
our
satisfy
group.
whatever you want.
We'll satisfy whatever you want. Then we have Dwayne Cecil. Dwayne is a very talented young man. I look at him and I say, he reminds me of Fela Kuti when he started out. Him and Anwar go back and forth. And his music is very controversial, but on the same respect drives a message home. We've got a young lady, Suzachi. She's now building herself into the disco type contemporary environment. She has a song that J-Rex put together that makes me also want to get up and dance. Wow. Everybody gives me the feeling that we are onto something great.
There's this young talent called Vaughn.
And I was gonna get to that. Very own name, Vaughn. Young rapper. His name is Vaughn. He says very own name because he owns his name. He owns his style. He owns his talent. He's basically aspired to look up to some of the greats in Ghana, Lord Kenya. He respects the Sarkodiyas of the world, and he sees that there is a lot that he can learn and rise. And from my perspective, Vaughn can stand up to anybody behind the mic and basically deliver. We put him on rhythms and he just killed it. I was like, man, you killed it with a skillet. I'm proud of you. So you look at every single one of these acts and you realize that there's so much that will be delivered and there's so much diversity, but in the same respect there is unity. And that unity is what we want to drive home for the communities within Ghana to realize that a group of people can get together and build something that will transform the various communities. And these group of people are very young, talented, and driven by a common vision, a common goal. Basically, rise up for freedom, rise up for fame, rise up for fortune.
Yeah. They're not here now, so I can stand in for them. Me and Jerry should do this. We meet a lot of talent every single day. But you see, there's something called resources that's not available to them. And the fact that somebody realizes that there's talent in you, there's potential in you, we're going to make sure we provide you with the full-on resources to make sure you live to the best of your capability or your ability is a big thing.
Yes.
And it's not just the fact that you're doing it as somebody in the country, you're doing it with the fact that you've seen the world from different perspectives. and there is enough collaborations to make sure that their hands are held, not just for Ghana, not just for Africa, but to the world itself. I think they would all of them want to say thank you to you and what you've started, and they're all ready to rise up for fame, to rise up for freedom, and to rise up for fortune. Yes, that's what I want to say on their behalf, because I've spoken to some of them and they are grateful to have what it is that is going on here. You know, Ruff Mob, Ruff Money Records, a Slick Media Group. I want to say thank you on the behalf of the artists, because this is not easy. You see a lot of talent every single day. You know, you see them and they try to do to the best of their abilities. But you know, there's a bigger world out there. You sometimes when you're good enough, you need a little help, a little push. Somebody needs to call you and say, you know what, you can't just take the mansions and the cars. You need to do this for money. Don't mind me. but that's the truth, and that's the role you're playing in their life. And I think they're very grateful for that. You have anything you want to add?
Well, I'm lost for words though, but I just feel goosebumps all over my body because of this dream, the Emancipation tour.
Yeah.
Oh my dear, it's gonna be great next year.
Good.
We're all gonna pull our resources, our strength, everything, and rally behind this dream, and then everybody, everyone, the whole of Ghana, the whole of Africa, the whole of the world is going to see Ruff Money Records, Ruff Money Mob, Slick Media Group.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Jared, do you have any final words you want to say real quick?
I think I thank Slick Media.
Okay.
I thank Ruff Money for this opportunity to show the world what Africans and what we want to show to the world. As in the different mindsets about Africa. So I think I thank Slick Media for making this dream come true.
Alright. Mr. K, do you have any final words you want to say?
Just Slick Media. That's it.
That's it.
Money Records.
That's it.
That's it. You have any final words? Any final words?
Well, I want to thank all of you for
Yeah.
you know, giving the dream the type of support that it needs, and also making me realize that taking this step is something that is helping and making a difference in the lives of people who really genuinely want to work towards their own individual aspirations and dreams. It gives me, excitement within myself to actually watch young people rise. I was a young man before. My best, closest friend, my brother, he calls me, now he's pops, but we're all gray haired now, so we're all good. Saw me doing things when I was younger in my 20s, 19, 20, and saw that I could transform communities and countries. I did that in the Western world, and being back home, I feel that there are challenges, but there's also great opportunity here. So this is all well organized. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the meeting. This has been great.
I appreciate it. I want to say this to everybody watching this. This is not just an interview. This is actually a prophecy to the future. We're not being religious. We're just telling you that it's a dream that has come to us, and it's gonna happen. So you're gonna watch this interview. You're gonna be like, oh man, what they spoke about, they did it. And that's gonna be the dream to live up to. Rise up for freedom. Rise up for fame. Obviously, let's rise up for some fortune. We're out.
Shoulders, your knees and toes, hold your hands. Shoulders, your knees and toes, shall I'm on fire.